before then, we've got a post-show party to get through, and we're going to really kick things off now in style with the fantastic Maggie Robertson. Hi, Lady D. Hello. I'm so bad at pronouncing your in-game name. Please, can we have the voice?
Oh, hello. You do it.
Yeah.
Lady Domitrescu.
Ooh, that sounds nice when you say it.
it.
Lady
Oh
Domitrescu.
my gosh, you're looking fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll try it now. Lady
And you as
Domitrescu.
well.
Yes, there you
Lady
go.
Domitrescu.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Lady Domitrescu.
Oh
Ooh,
my.
with the voice. You have to do it with the voice. I think it helps with the pronunciation. I don't know. It's science.
So, we've been cooped up in this little room, which is fabulous, but we haven't felt the vibe downstairs. What's it been like tonight?
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, being here is really a dream come true, I think, for a lot of us. So everyone's just really excited. And I know I personally am just so thrilled to be here and to be able to meet everyone in person. And I feel so grateful to be a part of this community. Everyone I've met is just so lovely and supportive, and I love being a cheerleader for my now friends.
I have been raving about your story though as well, because it's amazing to me that because we chatted briefly before virtually, but this was the first job you booked after moving to LA, pretty much.
I think the first video game I ever booked, but I still think it's like job number 3 that I booked, having moved to LA, period.
Which
so
is
it's still
incredible.
insane. Yeah.
Can I ask what was written on the casting call?
I probably couldn't tell you even if I wanted to. I don't remember is the thing. I know they were looking for tall ladies, and I immediately raised my hand. I think even in my room alone, I was like, hi, that's me. Because so often my height is the thing that rules me out of a job. So then to find a breakdown where my height could actually be an asset and could be the thing that books me the job was really exciting.
Yeah.
So in other words, you've opened the door for tall ladies everywhere.
Yes.
And hat fans too. Did you realise how big the hat was going to get?
No. That mod is hilarious. It is so funny. I think that one and Tiny Lady Dimitrescu is really quite amusing to me. Those mods were hilarious.
I love talking to you before, or hearing you speak about how you got into the physicality of Lady D.
Yeah.
How her interior and exterior are a little bit different.
Yeah. I love performance capture because it is all about telling a story with just your body. You don't have any of these other cues to rely on. So how can you create a really physically distinctive and telling character? And one of the techniques that I use is called lobbin, and you can think about rhythms, and you can play with internal versus external rhythms. So externally, she might be very calm and collected and fluid and sustained, but internally, she's slashing and writhing, and you know, all of these emotions are pent up inside there. And I think that dichotomy, that clash against each other, is what makes her feel very volatile and dangerous. You don't know what she's capable of. You just know she's badass and she could rip you apart. So yeah.
Did you have any real world inspirations that you kind of looked to when you were putting her together?
Probably. I don't know if I pulled from any one thing. Shakespeare definitely was a huge influence on me. I had just finished a classical acting degree, and I certainly feel that Lady D is very Shakespearean. She's incredibly heightened, and the stakes are really high, and so I pulled a lot from that. And she has a real love of language, and she uses it really well, like a weapon. It's one of the weapons in her massive arsenal of weaponry. So that was really fun to play with. And how can I investigate language and sound and use sound as a tool?
And stage experience is actually really helpful when it comes to mocap as well, because you draw upon, you know, the sort of physicality of the space, and I guess your imagination as well.
Totally. I think performance capture is this perfect blend, actually, between theater and on camera. You have this really technical component, but then you have this really imaginative space where, to me, it gets back to the root of why we all wanted to be actors in the first place, and that is just play.
Yeah.
You are allowed to imagine a world. If you are in a desert storm, you have to put yourself in the desert storm and be reacting to the wind and the sand in your face. And it's just make believe. It's everything you were doing as a kid. So to be able to have the opportunity to do that as a job is completely surreal and totally fun. And also, you know, you're in these skin tight suits. Nobody has an ego. You can't have an ego because you're in a pajama suit and you're doing weird things all the time. So it's really just like, let's get weird and let's do it.
What's it like seeing people actually I guess playing the game and reacting to you, because you get to see them react on an individual basis when they're streaming. It's not like the cinema where obviously everyone is witnessing as an audience at the same time. I'm guessing you've seen some people's reactions
quite personal,
playing
I
the game
guess.
for the first time.
That's a really interesting observation, and I don't know if I had ever thought of it in that way, that I get to see these individual reactions that you don't get to see when you go to the cinema. I think that's really special and unique, actually. But it was hilarious. I mean, the reactions are hilarious. The whole thing has been hilarious.
I mean,
no,
you've made it when you've got BuzzFeed thirst tweets.
Oh gosh. Ugh, BAFTA, BuzzFeed. I don't know. It's so hard. No, that was an amazing experience for sure. I was like, is this real? This is a joke.
And it must have been a surprise though when the character was revealed, when the trailer happened. That's all anyone was talking about, was just Lady D, step on me.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I never thought I'd say that during
My
a BAFTA
DMs
show.
during that time, or after that time, I was still under NDA. My DMs during that time and currently are still a wild world.
But but that must have been pretty special, like just seeing, because you had to keep it quiet at first, but the reactions were just from the community were just incredible. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite that strong. Like amazing stuff.
Yeah, it was completely bananas and unexpected, and I think it was both a blessing and a curse that I was able to get kind of a precursor of what to expect once my name actually went out into the public. It was nice to be able to have that time to adjust of like, oh crap, okay, I guess this is going to be a really big deal. I should start to like prepare my life and create a Twitter. I didn't have a Twitter. I got a Twitter. So I was like, I guess I should get that now. So I was able to take those steps to make sure that I was ready for release. But then, the pressure then to amount to all the hype was pretty extreme, and to be able to deal with that amount of attention on you, because I'd gone from 0 to 100. I was completely invisible, and now I was very, very visible. So it's been wild.
Was gaming something you'd set your sights on when you moved to LA, or did it kind of take you by surprise?
No, it absolutely took me. I mean, the whole thing is, that's why it's so wild. Everything has been a surprise, and a very pleasant one at that. I came to Los Angeles with the intention of pursuing on camera, and now having worked on this experience and met the people in the gaming industry, I've completely pivoted, and I'm full steam ahead on voiceover and video games. I love this world, and I love this community. It's very special to be in an environment where everyone is so passionate about what they do, and everyone is a fan.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest thing that's the surprise, is everyone is a fan of each other, and we're all just fangirling on each other's work.
I mean, I think Lady D tapped into something really special though, where people who weren't used to seeing themselves represented in games saw themselves in her, like the LGBTQ plus community, and she's an older presenting woman who is sexy. Like, she's just so cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that people have really latched onto.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think Lady D is a nice big step forward in the right direction. big step. But no, she's certainly not the end all be all of this push that we're seeing for diversity and inclusion in media. But I think she is a really exciting first step in that direction. And more importantly, what she does is showcases that there is a deep hunger and thirst for these different stories and these different narratives. We want to see different characters on screen. There is a market. We're hungry for it. Come on, guys, give it to us. We're ready. So I think that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Had you had a chance to play or look at any of the other nominees from the awards this evening before you came?
Confession, I am not a gamer myself,
No worries.
so I've not played, but I have looked at everyone's work, and I'm so in awe of everyone. And now, having met them, they're just all such goober little goobs. And
It's so exciting, though, I'm sure, as a performer, just to see what's possible in games. I think a lot of people, maybe performers, their eyes are being opened to, oh, this isn't just voice work. This is full body performance, and there are accolades to be found and interesting stories to be told with it.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a really cool industry with lots of new innovations happening still. So it feels very exciting to be in that while we're continuing to expand and grow.
Were there any favorite scenes for you to perform, maybe with like your daughters or anything like that?
All the scenes with family were fun because their family dynamics are interesting. But I think probably for me the highlight was I've got to say the table flip scene.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh, I got to literally throw something across a room, and that's a bucket list right there. That's on the bucket list. So I got to do that.
Before we let you go,
Yeah.
now you mentioned bucket list. Is there anything you're ticking off in the future that we can ask you about?
Nothing that I can divulge at this time.
But you're a busy lady.
But I'm a very busy lady, and I hope to continue to be a very busy lady. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here.
Well, we want you to make the most of being here because one of our sponsors is Tattinger. So I think you should go and drink some.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to.
Thank you so much for being an excellent guest. And
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to talk to you guys, and you're very pleasant to talk to.
Oh,
so
gosh.
kudos. Well done, you.
I'm really as tall
Yeah, you
as
should
you.
get a BAFTA for.
Oh, yeah, we need
Ooh,
help.
hi. Hello,
I heard you were
shoes.
coming. I was just like, right,
Yeah,
guys, that's
bust
the
them
mark.
out.
We will see you on the dance floor.
Thank you.
Thank
Ooh,
you.
yay, I
Yeah,
will.
absolutely.
Take
Thank
you up
you
on
so
that.
much,
Thank you
Maggie
so
Robertson.
much,
You've been
guys.
fabulous.
Cheers.